It's just a matchup where like it's just so there's so much to it. Like me and Hungerbucks have this rivalry. I really, dislike Puff as the character, and throughout this weekend I've been boot camping with our mod and the other Europeans, and while I'm trying here, like, all right, let's not think about the character in a bad way, and like they're always just complaining about the character, and like some of it is warranted, but that mindset was really hard for me to like get into. But it worked best for me that after game one, where I just really didn't have it, like I didn't go for it. I just let him dictate the pace, and he really popped off and like just destroyed me. I realized that like it's just me and another melee character. What if this was a friendly? Would I want to lose the next match?
Right.
No. Like I want to win every match. Like it's nothing more like simple than that really. That I just want to win, and like all I have to care about is what is he gonna do, and what am I gonna do. And once I did that and I realized like I could lose, but I could also win, like throughout the rest of the tournament was kind of like just keeping that mindset, keeping the focus on exactly what I can do, nothing else, no other players, what are they feeling? I'm just trying to think, what can I do? What are they gonna do? And so I just came back really strong. Latter parts of Pokemon Stadium, which was game 2, and then game 3, I could feel like that he like as soon as I got the first stock, he wasn't really sure what to do anymore because I just beat some of the core options he picked out, and after that, I really just didn't let the league go.
I mean, the other thing that sucks about the current culture is that people complain and then they just wait for nerfs or they just wait for buffs and whatever, and they don't really try to learn the game. They don't really try to improve. They don't really try to master things. They just complain and complain and complain and complain and hope it gets fixed. And the thing is that complaining doesn't actually do anything, because most often than not everything is going to be patched in some way. I mean, the last patch, a lot of things that people usually complain about were not even like patched. And that's a way, I think that's important, because people just waste time while complaining. The thing is that all that time you were using to complain on Twitter, Facebook, or writing a long post on Smashwords about why whatever you're dealing with is stupid and broken and mindless, you're not using that time to get better. It's just an excuse. You're just wasting that time and just putting it in the wrong area just so you can feel better about it. And that's a cop-out. It's an excuse. It doesn't help you improve.
Why can't I reach the level of Gatsu? Explain it to me, Mango.
Because you, as everyone here watching has ever played a friendly set with Scar, you, my friend, are a rager. No matter how you look at it, you're a rager. And ragers never succeed in anything. They hit walls, because then the rage, you gotta get over the rage. And I think your problem is you get too mad at things in Melee. So the only way to adapt in Melee is learn to live with it and try your best to counter it. Which I've heard you complain about Spot Dot Shine, for example, for the last 5 years. When all you have to do is run away, bait it out, grab them. That's it. Solved.
Let's say that the thing that I work on is all up here. I don't worry about the fingers.
Before we go on to, I will say that 90% of the game, and that is no exaggeration, 90% of Melee is played up here.
Been playing the game since I was basically in diapers. And I throw all of it out the window, worrying about execution, you know what I mean? Watching VODs. And all I do is I live up here. I think about creating my castle of Melee.
If you worked on your mental game, you would be a million times better. So if you worked on your mental, I actually believe in you. But it's the hardest thing to work on in Melee. Everyone can do this.
How do you work on it?
Actually, this is funny we're talking about Gatsu. Gatsu actually dropped a tweet this morning that I loved. I think it said, I'm not going to pull it up. The gist of it was, how many times are you going to tell yourself, I lost because I played bad, before you realize that, like, until you wake up to reality, basically. Like, it's so easy to, like, write off a tournament loss. And that's the other problem with mentality, is that mentality in friendlies and mentality in tournament are completely different. It's hard to compare. It's hard to compare them.
What if you don't see improvement, and when you lose, you blame it on the other character?
Then that's
like,
worse.
For example,
that's
when
terrible.
Toe fucking shines me, and I don't grab the stupid-ass ledge, and he kills me at 15.
You have to figure out why it's happening.
But you know why it's happening? Is your character's so fucking good. That's why it's happening.
This is why you're not going anywhere this year. Well, but what does complaining about the character get you?
It gets me satisfaction that there's nothing wrong with me, there's just something wrong with the game, and I'm actually the best player in the
big-
world.
You have to accept that sometimes you get got by the other guy. Sometimes the guy's better than you. In that stock, in that instance, in that moment, in that little moment of play, he's better than you.
Talk a little bit about just facing Hungry Bucks. You faced them a lot in the past. Just overall, as an opponent over the years, what has that rivalry been like?
It's been really back and forth. Last year, he destroyed me. I was focused really hard on beating Armada. Now that Armada retired, I realized that like one of my biggest strengths, which was being the best player in the world against Armada, who always made it far, that kind of disappeared. So I just like thought to myself like, okay, so I'm gonna have it way harder because I don't have the like good matchup anymore. If this was rock paper scissors, I'm scissors and I just lost, paper just retired. So I thought to myself like, I really need to practice this matchup. I need to become like extremely good at it. So just been playing it, been thinking about it. Gotten a lot of inspirations from looking at other games, playing Ultimate, which is a bit more slow-paced. Didn't help me as much as some people think it would, but it definitely helped my mentality. Because there's a lot of characters in that game that I don't like fighting, and Puff was always that for me. So now it's just like, well, it can't be that bad. It's not an Ultimate character.
People that are just getting into the Smash scene and want to get involved in competitive Smash, what's your advice to someone like that?
It's all about motivation, honestly. In the past, I'd say my motivation was a little higher because now I'm more focused on I want to become the best at Smash 4, and I want to get into my streaming career. But it's a lot of the time when players are of close skill, sometimes it's the player playing the best at that moment, but it's also the most motivated player at a time. And if you're just motivated and you work towards something, then you could probably reach it. I think I'd be pretty good at whatever I did because honestly, it's mostly the fact that I put a lot of time into it. And when you put a lot of time and effort into something, the odds of failing are very small. As long as you put a lot of time and effort into something, you will most likely succeed at it.
You said things turned around. It's great to hear that. Can you give us a little bit more insight into how things turned around? What spurred it as recently as 3 weeks ago to come to this?
Yeah, I don't get a lot of hard measurements with the way I'm going about things, but there was a lot more like in December there was like kind of a switch that flipped that kind of started changing things where I started being more excited, more optimistic than more fearful about things. Because I always, even though I was doing the videos and I had the concerns, I was always in the back of my mind, I was like, man, it's been so long, and I was so hard on myself about it. But in December, a switch really, I made a major flip, and the fear is still there, and it was still there, but the hope was stronger than it for the first time in so long, and I was very happy about it. So I think that point was really, I'm going to look back, and I've been told I'm going to look back, and I'm going to see that's where a lot of things changed.
Cal for ESPN Esports here at Shine 2019 in Worcester, Mass. And your Smash Ultimate Singles Champion is Sam Sora. How good does that sound?
It sounds amazing. I've been trying to get a title like this since January, and I've come close, but Leo was always there in my way, but I finally conquered him this tournament.
Let's unpack that. In fact, let's start all the way in January, because if you look up your tournament results, MK Leo shows up a lot in terms of the person that would, remove you, eliminate you from these tournaments. So was there a point where MK Leo sort of became that unattainable goal, that person that you really wanted to defeat?
Yeah, we first played in January at Smash Conference, and he beat me there. And then we played at Genesis, and he knocked me out there where I got third. And then tournament after tournament after tournament, he kept on winning until I finally took a set off him at SmashCon. But keep in mind, it was between January all the way to August for a 6-month time period. I could not beat him. I could not touch him. And I finally started, to watch my VODs, do case study versus Leo, and finally the matches started to become closer and closer and closer to where I could, put up competitive matches. And here I am right now.
So let's talk about that. Since I would say maybe around May, it really seemed to click and you were able to take matches off of Leo, even sending him to loser's bracket for the second time in 2 tournaments here at SmashCon and here as well. So what can you give us a couple specifics on what really changed and what really clicked for you against Leo?
I started watching not only my matches versus Leo, but his matches versus every other person. And I was looking to see how he will punish them, how he will win, what the other players do to punish them. And I started practicing versus Joker every single day because he was my main demon. He was stopping me from winning every single tournament. And throughout that, it started at Evo, where he 2-0'd me, but game 2 was really close. And I was like, okay, next time I'm gonna get him. At SmashCon, I got him in winners, but he did get the tournament. And even though I didn't look over my SmashCon VOD, I knew what I needed to do in order to win. I know I needed to stay calm and not, be nervous of, oh, I'm almost about to win.
Me down, played really well that last dock, and then I end up closing it out to become the Glitch 7 champion, which was crazy. And I'm saying this, but like I can't believe it because it has been so long in my career. I've been playing for 14 years. I started in 2005. I won some Brawl majors with Meta Knight Band. I always got 2nd or 3rd, and I'm always up there. I'm not always, but I'm somewhat consistently up there, and I know I always can do it, but I never do. And this time I finally did it. I won. It's crazy. I can't believe it. And it's crazy because I've always known I could do it and I've always been up there and everything's always been so close, but I never made it. I got 2nd, I got 3rd, I got 4th, I got 2nd, I got 5th, I got 9th, I got 65th, I got 33rd, and finally there's a 1st. And I now joined the very small list of people in Ultimate especially that have won an event like this.
What do you take back from this whole entire experience? What do you take back to tell family and friends and share?
Good sleep helps a lot. It really helps. I don't really know. I think just doing what you love is reward enough, and even if I didn't win, I would still be happy with this overall trip, I'm pretty sure. And this makes it sweeter, but I think I just need to realize, and I realized that I need to appreciate what I'm doing, even if the result isn't always, the best, right? Like, we're in a very results-driven society, but the work does pay off. That's basically what I showed myself, at least, that I always knew that I was getting better, I was getting closer, but could I reach it? Would it slip away again? But I don't know, it finally paid off.
Smash 4 came out and it was really interesting, like within the first 2 months, and I didn't know he wanted to get that serious about it. And then we're playing, and one night he just looked at me and he was like, I want to be the best player in the world. There was a slight pause and I was like, if you really think you can do it, I believe in you. And from that moment on, we've been working towards that goal. We're kind of getting there. It's pretty tough, but I think Boy can do it.
It came to around late August, early September of 2015. It was a one-way flight. When I got to SoCal, I had $30. That's 2 tournaments and some food. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my life, and I knew this might be my only shot. So even if it means taking a huge risk of leaving Hawaii, there's no looking back for me. I have to make it count. Kind of sucked. At least initially, I really had to win the first few tournaments. Those were the tournaments that probably had the most pressure. And I lost to different people at each tournament. But I placed in the money, so I was good. I would say Genesis 3 was the first tourney that was a big part of leading up to COG, because I did really good at Genesis 3. I got 4th. There was another person at the tournament as well, and it was Devin Nash, Melixia, who was a big part of COG for a pretty long time. And after the tournament, he came up to me and he's like, hey man, I like your stuff. Are you down to have a meeting? Are you interested in joining COG? And I was like, COG? I actually don't think anyone back home thought it would blow up to even that level back in 2016. And I was like, guys, Like GSM, I told them, I'm in talks with COG. We might be COG Void soon. And they're like, yo, like COG, like you've loved COG for so long. Oh my God, you're gonna be a sponsored player. I'm James Makikawa Tyson. I'm a professional Smash player for Chronologic Gaming, and I go by the tag Void. Eventually, like, catch me in a COG jersey, guys. Like, I'm gonna meet the COG League team. Oh my God, hung out with this guy today. Oh my God, like, such a fanboy.
Commitment. Anyone who's at the top of anything committed to accomplishing that. You can't just expect to be on the same level as they are if you don't even commit to the same level they do. If you want to be amazing, then your level of commitment has to be, well, amazing. And if you just want to be decent, I mean, your level of commitment can also just be decent. You can progress as you want. Determination. Life is just not some easy, free of cost ride that has AC and drinks for you to enjoy. No. Everyone falls. Sometimes there's even spikes where you fall to make things even worse. And some people just have it easier than you or others, and that's just how it is. It's the truth. But that does not matter to you. You stick to what you want. There's gonna be bad days or moments where you simply want to be done with everything. Trust me. But your determination has to be on point. Don't just give up because things go south. Stick to it. I mean it. Focus. You don't have to be Einstein to be good at what you do. But you do have to understand a lot of things in order to progress. Take notes of what you see. Be proactive about what you want to do. Because it's not getting handed to you in a silver plate. Brainstorm. See what you do and compare it to what others do. Anything you can work on, anything that they do that can be better, you can do amazing things if you simply focus a lot on whatever you want to do. There's always a way. But if you don't even put any attention to what you're doing, like true attention and focus, then you're not getting anywhere.